Yes, Tara and her husband and kids are in Tokyo. So in order to talk to anybody, it's an ordeal. One is just turned 11 and the little one's 5. We get to see them for a decent chunk of time.
Yeah.
At least 3 times a year. Well, and I won't see them again probably until December. I would go and see them as soon as I could if I could. Because, Tara sends me lots and lots of pictures. Yeah. So I get that. So I see them and what they're doing and videos and whatnot. And they will send, she'll send a video of someone talking to me or my husband, because we're called Oba and OG, Japanese for grandparents, which is kind of funny because the Japanese grandma doesn't want to be called that. She wants to be called grandma.
Yeah.
And I'm happy being the Japanese grandma.
Yeah.
December 2019. Luckily, I had the entire family, all 11 of us together. Yeah. And then COVID hits.
I am in the midst of COVID, or the pandemic, or whatever you want to call it, and it really sucks. There are a lot of aspects of it that suck, but I think the worst one is that you cannot see your people, and that hurts the most. You can see them at a distance, but you can't hug them, you can't kiss them. And at this point in time, I have not seen my grandkids to hold, to kiss, to love up close for a very long time. I think it's been almost a year.
Yes, I do have 8 grandchildren, so yes, I'm not sure that qualifies me as a pro, but I've got the numbers. And they run in age from the oldest one, I think, is 31, and the youngest one will be 11 next month. The one thing I'm not very lucky about is both of my parents died of cancer, and they never really got to see my grandchildren, never got to really be a part of their life. And I think that's something that my parents missed, and I think my grandchildren missed. And I think that's part of the reason why we've made an effort, or I've certainly made the effort to have a relationship with all of them, is because I know what my children missed.
Buddy is a 2.5-year-old daughter and a brand new son, a month old, who I have not yet met. And it's hard because I get an occasional photo and an occasional, the only videos I've gotten was of my granddaughter meeting her brother for the first time. Nothing beyond that now.
I don't feel I can say to her, you have to find time so the kids can Zoom with me. Yeah, you have to find time for that. Do I need to add that pressure to her? No. It's hard enough. I mean, like when she moved from Kobe to Tokyo, she was in desperate need of help. I know. I would have normally, if I could, jump on a plane. And I could not help her at all. And I just felt awful that I couldn't do anything. She would call and tell me, well, she just wanted to complain. Yeah. And then, but of course, you as a parent want to fix that. And no one needs that. Certainly my daughter, with enough pressure on herself to try and cope with these kids and school and whatever else she's doing. I don't need to add that pressure to anybody. So you just internalize it and deal with it in another way.
It's been over a year. It's been way over a year. Now she knows who I am. Yeah. Now she'll call me grandma. And it was her doing. I didn't coax her because I didn't have a name. Because I felt it was the distance more than the pandemic. So the pandemic accentuated it more. What it did is it kept me, I lost out from my additional visits. I lost out on the birthday visit. I lost out on the vacation. I lost out on spending time. But I had the FaceTime. But I didn't have the real quality time. And that's what the pandemic did. And it's hard because sometimes there's no time for me. And I have to wait until time is freed up. Occasionally, there's the them feeling bad that maybe I was pushed off to the side. And other times it was a matter of remembering that they didn't remember me.
But it's not seeing her, not being able to hold her and hug her and touch her is really, really hard. I mean, we have conversations, but not the same. It's not the same as having them right with you. When my late husband and I decided to come to California, one of the main reasons was we didn't want to be a two-week a year grandparent. We wanted to be able to see our grandkids. Not so much the kids, because they're gone and finished, so to speak. But the grandkids meant a great, great deal to us.
Well, I'll tell you the thing that made the biggest difference probably in my relationship with my children and my grandchildren is about, I'm going to say 11 or 12 years ago, I don't remember exactly. I sat all three of the children down and I said to them, you know, your children are growing up, they're going to be creating their own lives. You've got your in-laws to deal with, you've got your mother to deal with, you've got us to deal with, and I would like to have a better relationship with you. So my request is that we all get together once a year for a holiday. I don't care which holiday it is, you guys pick one holiday and we will all be together at this time. So of course they chose Thanksgiving, which I thought was the best holiday they could have possibly chosen. So this year, because of COVID, what we started doing, we have a Zoom call with everybody every Wednesday at 5 o'clock. And one of the things about having this call is we all are together. So we're all sharing each other's lives and we're all sharing each other's experiences from the last week and what we're looking forward to in the future. So they are not only talking to me, they're talking to each other. And I think that's the significant difference that's happened with COVID.
We did the internet. We did WhatsApp. We did Google Duo. Sometimes FaceTime. It's so frustrating because you're not really a part of their lives. You're witnessing it, but they don't know who you are. I mean, she knows who I am. She can identify me. She doesn't know me as a person.
I can't stand the Zoom. I can't stand Zoom. And FaceTime is fine. But truthfully, I call my granddaughter in, or she calls me in from Germany, and I don't even look at the FaceTime. I look at her face, and that's it. You know, it's not like we're having a conversation. It's not the same. I want to hear what's going on in her life, but aside from that, it's still talking to a stranger. It's talking to a stranger, that's what it is. Sorry to say. So it's like, it's pretty sad. I mean, I see her on Facebook, but it's not enough. It really is not enough. Now, the ones that are here, I have lunch with my grandson outside on my patio once in a blue moon, but we still can't touch or kiss or hug, and it's really, it's a crying shame. It really is. It stinks.
And then we try and see them. Yeah. And then we don't do a lot of FaceTime. I FaceTime with Tara when she can, but when you have little kids, you know, they stick their faces in and they leave. You know, they're the ones interested in having a FaceTime, especially an 11-year-old. God knows what they think of me. But it's just, I feel, and then I feel guilty because why doesn't my daughter try and make the effort to have this kind of a thing? And I'll say to her, I'm around this weekend if you can FaceTime or whatever. But again, I don't want to put that pressure on her because, it doesn't matter how old your kids are. They still, as soon as you do that, they turn into children.
But, did you ever try to put your arms around an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old grandchild? They run the other way just as fast as they can get away. Grandpa wants to grab me. Grandpa wants to hug me. I'm out of here.
I would love to spend more time without stepping on toes, and that's the big thing. Walking on eggshells so nobody gets offended, so you don't say the wrong things, so that you follow their guidelines, but you can still relax into their world and be you. So it's finding ways of spending quality time. I just want them. I want the kids to get to know me. I don't want to just be a name that they remember when I'm gone. I want them to put a person to the face.
It hasn't been the same. I think all these traditions and Christmas or Hanukkah, it just went by the by. Nothing happened. Just another day. And that's the way this whole thing is. It's just another day. I wake up, I don't know if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I have to look at the calendar to find out. I used to go traveling a lot. I was constantly traveling because I was a travel agent. And I saw the world, and thank goodness I did it when I did it. But actually, at this point in time, nothing really excites me except seeing my kids. Getting back to the grandkids, the feel of them, the smell of them, the touch of them is so lost with this COVID nonsense. It's not nonsense, I know, but it really, really hurts. And that's it.
And that goes back into, am I being a good parent? Am I being a good grandparent? Am I doing the right things? Should I be pushy?
Yeah.
And what? And then and then of course, as you know, I have friends whose kids live a mile from each other, all 8,000 of them, with all the grandchildren. And I'm like, and then when they can't see them, I'm like, really?
I know,
You can see them through a window, and you're having a problem with that? But I feel helpless.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm a mush. So when things stress me out, I think about something else.
Yes, it's hard not being able to see them and not being able to touch them, but I think that we've handled it better than most people I know, in that we made the effort to communicate with each other every week.
Yes.
And I would not have communicated with my son every week were it not for COVID.
Yeah.
So it has changed, but it's made it better in some ways and more difficult in other ways.
So it's a different life. It's a different life. And I wish what I wanted, I was hoping in another year or two, God knows what's going to happen with this disease. I wanted them to come here. I wanted to take them around New York. I wanted to experience things with them, especially the kids. I'm going to be a traveling person. I have my points so that I can get on a plane if I have to. But I just want that relationship.
I am so happy for my kids that they have these wonderful, exciting, different lives.
That's right.
That why would I want them have to be near me because I'm getting older and I need to watch their children grow up. I've been lucky. I can go and I can see them. But I also don't feel that that's how you keep close.
No, it isn't.
Your relationship with people is much deeper level than that. It should not be yes, it's nice, it's wonderful, and it reconnects in a lot of ways, but it should have a real underlying, and so I feel that way with both my daughters, that I don't have to be there.
Yeah.
I, hope that's the case with the grandkids, No, there are no guarantees. I do have a very, very hopeful feeling about it all. I really do. And I'm not exactly always an optimistic person. I like to be cheerful, but doesn't mean I really feel that way. But I do feel that we are on the up.